Hello everyone, I'm Frank, and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called Green Bean Casserole by Not Very Neat. And here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means in every cell in the grid, place a single digit such that every row, column, and designated 9-cell region contains digits 1 through 9 exactly once each. And, nice job, not very neat, we have Whisper 5 lines, where adjacent digits on a green line must differ by at least 5. I wonder if Not Very Neat was the first one who came up with that naming. Maybe it was Not Very Neat. I don't remember who it was, but a setter came up with that naming convention, or not convention, but the name. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant because it's very easily extensible. Anyways, those are Whisper 5 lines, and as an example, if this were, say, 3 here, this would have to be 8 or 9, because the only digits which are 5 or more away from 3 are 8 and 9. And we have crop key dots, where digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and digits separated by a black dot are in a 1-to-2 ratio. And not all dots are necessarily given. So, for example, if this were an 8 here, this would have to be a 7 or a 9 here, because these digits must be consecutive because there's a white dot between them. And if this were 2, we would have to have a 1 or a 4 here to maintain a 1-to-2 ratio, because the only digits because there's a black dot in between these digits, so that's why there must be a 1-to-2 ratio between those digits. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay. First things first, on a Whisper 5 line, first of all, you can never have a 5 on a Whisper 5 line, because if you subtract 5 or more from 5, you get 0 or less, and if you add 5 or more to 5, you get 10 or more, and 0 or less is not a normal Sudoku digit, 10 or more is obviously not digits. So, if in a row or column or a 9-cell region, you have every cell is on a Whisper 5 line, except for 1. You know that one digit that's not must be a 5. So the question is, if there is a portion of the a row or a column or a region containing how do you say it? Yeah, containing every digit, every cell in the region except for a certain amount are on Whisper 5 lines. That means the 5 has to be in the portion that's not, right? Well, column 4 satisfies that. We have 8 cells which are on Whisper 5 lines, which means that the last digit that's not must be a 5. So this is a 5. In row 4, we have 7 cells in the row are on Whisper 5 lines. So that means 5 has to be one of those 2 that's not. Well, where is 5 then in rows? We also have in row 6, 7 of the digits are on Whisper 5 lines. But 5 also cannot be next to a black crop key dot, because if you have, and that's the same with 5, 7, and 9 in normal Sudoku. And the reason why is if you have 5, 7, and 9, you get 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. If you double 5, 7, and 9, you get 10, 14, or 18, none of which are digits. So therefore, 5 in row 6 cannot be next on the Whisper 5 lines, cannot be next to the black crop key dot, so the 5 has to be here. So, where is the 5 in this upper left-hand box? It cannot be here because of 5 in the column. It can't be on the Whisper 5 line, so it must be one of these digits here. And actually, we have in column 2, every digit is on a Whisper 5 line except for 1, so this must be 5 there. Um, where else can we do this? Can we do this anywhere else? In row 8, you know this cannot be 5 because of 5 in the box, and every other digit is on a whisper 5 line except for these two cells here. So 5 has to be one of those two in row 8. Where is it in row 7 then? Where's the 5? It cannot be here because of 5 in the box. These are all on whisper 5 lines, and it can't be here because one of these is guaranteed to be a 5 for row 8. So where is the 5 then? In row 7, it must be there. Where's the 5 in column 6 then? Cannot be on the whisper 5 lines, can't be here because of 5 in the boxes. These are on whisper 5 lines, so 5 has to be here, which means this cannot be 5. Where's the 5 in this upper left-hand box? It must be there. That means where's the 5 in row 3? Cannot be here because of 5 in the box, and the rest are on whisper 5 lines, so this must be 5 there, which means this can't be 5, and this can't be 5. Where's the 5 in row 4 and row 8 then? It must be here and here. Okay, another thing about whisper 5 lines is that for every 2 digits that are on a whisper 5 line, adjacent digits, one has to be low and one has to be high. You'll always alternate between low and high digits on a whisper 5 line. And how do we know that? Well, the low digits are 1 through 4. The high digits are 6 through 9. So let's just look at what digits can be next to each of these digits. 1 can be next to 6 through 9. 2 can be next to 7 through 9. 3 can be next to 8 or 9. And 4 can be next to 9. So next to a low digit must be a high digit because all those digits are high that they can be next to. And what about 4 high digits? Well, 6 can be next to 1. 7 can be next to 1 or 2. 8 can be next to 1 through 3, and 9 can be next to 1 through 4, all of which are low digits. So next to a high digit has to be a low digit. So for every pair of digits, you know one is going to be high and one is going to be low on a whisper 5 line. And for consecutive digits, since we also know, so 5 can only be consecutive with 4 or 6. So let's use those. So it's 4, 6, 4, 6. This is 5 next to a 4, 6. So these 4 or 6 must be different. So let's set this one to orange and this one to be green. Since this is orange, this must not be the orange one, it's green. And again, on these for consecutive digits, since we cannot have 5 be for digits that are consecutive that are on a whisper 5 line, since 5 can never be on a whisper 5 line, we know that consecutive digits have to be the same set, right? Because the only way you could go from a low to a high would be if you transfer to a 5 first and then you transfer to a high. But every other digit is going to be consecutive with another digit from its same set. So we can set these to various different things. So here, where should we start is the question. Let's start here. So we're going to make this yellow and pink. So you'll alternate sets between unique digits. Yellow has to be consecutive with yellow, so therefore that makes that pink, which is consecutive with pink here, which makes that yellow. Yellow is consecutive again with yellow, which makes that pink. These are both pink then. That makes that yellow and this yellow. Yellow means this can't be yellow here, it's pink. Yellow is consecutive with yellow there, so that's pink. We have 4 pinks in row 7, which eliminates pinks in the rest of the row. So the rest are yellow. Since this is yellow. Yellow is consecutive again with yellow. That makes that pink, so this is 2 pinks there. Yellow is consecutive with yellow. This is yellow and pink. That's consecutive with pink there, so that makes that yellow. We have 4 yellows in row 6, so this can't be yellow here. It must be pink. Pink is consecutive with pink, which makes this yellow. That's consecutive with yellow, which makes this pink. Pink is consecutive with pink, which makes this yellow. In row 8, we have 4 yellows. So green cannot be yellow. Green has to be pink. That means orange has to be yellow. Okay. This is going to be a yellow-pink pair here, because again, you'll alternate sets on a Whisper 5 line. So that means we are guaranteed 4 pinks in this left central box, which means this can't be pink, it's yellow. So it's consecutive with another yellow here. That makes that pink. We have 4 yellows in column 1, so the remaining digits in that column are all pink. So these must be pink here. Pink and yellow must alternate there. We don't know what these are. Oh, we have 1 pink and 1 yellow here. That means the remaining digits in this box cannot be pink because we have 4 pinks. So therefore, this must be yellow. So yellow is consecutive with yellow there, which makes that pink. We have 4 pinks in column 3. That eliminates pink from the rest of the column, so that leaves this as yellow. Okay. This has to have pink and yellow in this set here. The remaining digits then in this box, if we try to have 2 pinks here, the problem is that would be 5 pinks in this box, which is not allowed. So this cannot be pink, pink. It must be yellow, yellow. So this is yellow and pink, which gives us 4 yellows in this box now, which makes this a pink. We have 4 yellows in column 9. That eliminates yellow in the rest of the column, so the rest are pink. Okay. In row 4, we have 3 yellows already, and 1 out of these 2 is going to be yellow because they alternate sets. So that eliminates yellow from the rest of the row, so these are all pink. So since this is pink, that's consecutive with pink here, consecutive with pink there. This must be yellow because it alternates. This must be yellow, which is consecutive. That means this is yellow to be consecutive, which makes that pink there. We have 4 pinks in row 2. That eliminates pink in the rest of the row, so that leaves these as yellow. We have 4 yellows in this upper right-hand box. That eliminates yellow from the rest of the box, so this is pink. We now have 4 pinks in row 1. That eliminates pink in the rest of the row, so that's yellow. We now have 4 yellows in the rest of this upper central box, so the rest of the box is pink. We now have 4 pinks in column 5, so the rest must be yellow. So this is yellow, yellow. Yellow and pink are opposites. Now we have 4 pinks there. This is opposite of pink, so that's yellow there. We have 4 yellows in the central box. That eliminates yellow in the rest of the box, so this can't be yellow, it's pink. Pink and yellow are opposites. We have 4 pinks in this lower central box, which eliminates yellow and pink in the rest of the box. Sorry, pink in the rest of the box, so this is yellow. And column 7, we have 4 yellows, so this must be pink. In column 8, we have 4 pinks, so this must be yellow. Okay, so now we know that this has to be either 3-8 or 4-6. 3-6 or 4-8 to be in a 1-to-2 ratio if they are opposite sets. Every other pair of digits that are in a 1-to-2 ratio would be 1-2 or 2-4, but the problem is those are the same set. So this is either 3-6 or 4-8. Okay. Um, what does that tell us? Well, if this is low, if this is 4, so okay, let's take all the possibilities. If this is 3, that means this would have to be 6, and this would have to be 8 or 9. That's possible. If this is 4, that's in a 1 to 2 ratio with 8, and this would have to be 9, but 9 is only consecutive with 8. So that doesn't work. So this cannot be 4 here. So if we have 3 here, this is 6. If this is 6, this would have to be 1. That would be consecutive with 2. And 6 would be with 3 here. If this is 8, this would have to be 4. And you could have 1, 2, or 3 here. Huh. Okay. Let's go back through here. So okay, if we have 3 here, this is 6, this has to be 8 or 9, which is consecutive with 7, 8, or 9. 3 would have to then be 2 or 4 there, which would be next to 7, 8, or 9 on the whisper 5 line. Oh, that's interesting. Let's not go that route right now. Okay, so this can't be 4 anymore, which means this can't be 8, so that's helpful. Let's go down this route. These digits in the central box are consecutive with each other, and they cannot contain the yellow 4 or 6. So that means these two digits cannot be 4 or 6, guaranteed. It's either going to be 1, 2, 2, 3, or 7, 8, 8, and 9. So as a yellow, this is guaranteed to either have 2 or 8. And it's going to be with 1, 3, or 7, 9. But we're guaranteed 2 or 8 is here, which means this can never be 8. If this were 8, that would mean this would have to be high digits, and they would have to be consecutive, but obviously 7 and 9 is not going to be consecutive with each other. So this cannot be 8 here, which means this is a 3, 6 pair. That eliminates 3 and 6 in the rest of the row, so this cannot be 3 here. So if these are low, it's 1, 2, this is 4, and this would have to be 3 here, if that's the case. If this is high, this is 8 with 7 or 9, so this could be 7 or 9 there. And we don't really know what that is. So if this is low, we'd have guaranteed 1, 2 here. That would be 3. This would have to be 4. If this is guaranteed to be, if this is high, this is 8 with 7 or 9. This would have to have a 6, so this would be 7 or 9 there, if that's the case. Okay. We also know these digits are consecutive, but we could have 4 or 6. Well, okay, we have a 3, 6 pair in this left central box. That eliminates 3 and 6 in the rest of the box. Also, 3 has to be next to 8 and 9. 6 has to be next to 1. So if this is 8 or 9, we have 7, 8, or 9 there. If this is 1, it would have to be 2. So those are the possibilities. If we have 3 here, that's consecutive with 2 or 4, which would be 7, 8, or 9 there. If this is 6, that would be consecutive with 7, which would force 1 or 2 there. So if this is 6, that's 1, which makes that 2. And therefore, this would have to be 7, 6, 7, and 1 there, if that were the case. Okay. What else do we have? These are consecutive. It cannot be 4 or 6, so we have to have 2 or 8 there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, or 9. This cannot be the yellow 4, 6. And this can't be yellow 4, 6. Where is the yellow 4, 6 in this right central box? It has to be here. And this can only be 4, so we know yellows then are low, and pinks are high. So then this becomes 4. This is 3 and 6 then. 3 is consecutive with 2 or 4 here, which means this is 7, 8, or 9. This is 8 or 9, which is consecutive with 7, 8, or 9 here. And we're guaranteed 8 is one of these digits. So this could be 7 or 9 there. This has to be 1 or 2. The low 4s are obviously, the low 4, 6s are obviously 4. The high 4, 6s have to be 6. And this must be 3 here. That makes this 8 or 9, which is consecutive with 7, 8, or 9 there. This cannot be 7, 8, or 9. It's 2 with 1 or 3. That leaves us as 1 or 3 there. 3 can't be here because of 3 in the row. We're guaranteed this is a 2 because this is either 1 or 2 consecutive or 2 or 3. So this must be 1 or 3 here. These digits are consecutive and cannot contain a 4. So this must be 1, 2 as a pair. That eliminates 1 and 2 because 4 would be only consecutive with 3 out of the lows. That means this is a 3, 4 pair. That eliminates 3, 4 in the rest of the box. So no 4 here, it's 2. This 1, 2 pair eliminates 1 and 2 in the rest of the box. So this can't be 1 or 2. It's 4, which is consecutive with 3. 4 can only be next to 9 on a Whisper 5 line. So that's 9, which makes this 8, which makes that 7. No 9 here. It's 7 or 8, which is consecutive with 7, 8, or 9. Oh, wait. This is consecutive. Oops, I've messed that up. Shoot. Okay, we gotta go back. I don't know how far back that was. Oof. Yeah, it's pretty bad. That's a pretty... I don't know what that would affect. It could affect a lot of things. So, we gotta go back. Major mistake. Okay. Until where that is. Sometimes you'll make some mistakes. It's not good, obviously. Okay, this is pink. Ugh. Which makes this yellow. This is yellow here. That makes that pink. That's 4 pink, so that does... Oh, that was so far behind yellow. Yellow is consecutive with yellow, which makes this pink. Pink is consecutive with pink. And we have 4 yellows here, so the greens are pink. And the orange is yellow. Is that the same? I don't remember. Anyways, one of these is going to be yellow here. That means the rest are all pink. So that's still the same. Pink is consecutive with pink, so that's pink there, which makes that yellow. We have a yellow and a pink here. Pink is consecutive with pink. That makes this yellow there, which is consecutive with yellow. That makes that pink there. Those are both pink then to be consecutive. That makes that yellow. We have 4 pinks in column 4. That makes all of these yellow. Yellow and pink are opposite, so that's pink also. Pink is consecutive with pink. That makes that yellow. That makes both of these are yellow. That makes that pink. Makes yellow there. Opposite, no. Shoot, I almost did it again. That's pink, which makes this yellow. We have 3 pinks here. This must be yellow, yellow. That makes that pink there. We have 3 yellows, 3 pinks there. One of these is pink, so this can't be pink here, so that's yellow, which makes it consecutive with yellow. That makes that pink. We still have the 4 yellows in column 1, so those are all pink. That's the opposite, so it's yellow. We have 4 yellows in row 3. This can't be yellow, it's pink. Yellow is opposite pink there. 4 pinks in this upper central box, so that's yellow. Cannot be 2 pinks here. This must be 2 yellows. That's 4 yellows in row 1, so that's pink there. 4 pinks in this upper right-hand box, so these are both yellow. 4 yellows in row 2, this is pink. 4 pinks in column 3, that's yellow. 4 pinks in column 5, this must be yellow, so that's still the same. That means this is pink here because of 4 yellows in the central box. 4 pinks in column 6. This must be yellow. 4 yellows in column 7. This must be pink. 4 pinks in column 8. This must be yellow. 4 yellows in column 9. This must be pink. Okay. This is still the same here. So we try to have 4 here. That would force us to be 9 here, 8 to be in a 1 to 2 ratio, but 9 is only consecutive with 8, so this cannot be 4. And if these are high, we know this is 6, this has to be 8 with 7 or 9, so this cannot be 8 then, if that's high. So this can't be 4, and it can't be 8, which means this is 3 or 6, which is in a 1 to 2 ratio with 3 or 6. Because again, we cannot have 1, 2, 4 be there. So how did we prove that this... right, 4 and 6 cannot be here, cannot be here. They have to be here, but this can't be 3 or 6. So that proves that yellows have to be lows. So then... these are both 4. Pinks have to be high. And these are both 6. That leaves that not as a 6, that's 3, which makes that 6 in a 1 to 2 ratio. These are consecutive, cannot be 4, because the 4 is only consecutive with 3 for low digits. So this is 4 here, which is consecutive with 3, as I said. 4 and 9 are 5 away from each other. That's the only digit that can be 5 away from 4. That forces this to be 8. That leaves that as 7, and this is a 1-2 pair here. That leaves this as 3 or 4. This 3-4 pair eliminates 3 and 4 in the rest of the box. So this must be 2 to be consecutive with 3. That leaves that as 1 there. That leaves in column 3, the remaining low digit is 2, which is consecutive with 1 or 3, but this can't be 3 because of 3 in the box. So this is 1, that's 4. 4 is only next to 9 on a whisper 5 line. Thus, therefore, in this cell here cannot be 7, 8, or 9 because of 7 or 8 in the column and 9 in the box, so this is 6. That leaves that as 9, which is consecutive with 8. The only remaining digit in column 3 is a 7. Okay. These digits are consecutive. It's 1 and 2, which makes that 1, 2, or 3 there. Where is 4 in this box, then? Cannot be here because of 4 in the column. Can't be here because of 4 is in the row, so 4 has to be there, which again can only be next to 9 on a whisper 5 line. That makes this 8 to be consecutive with it. This must be a 6, 7 pair. This can't be 7 because of 7 in the row, so that's 6, which makes that 7. 6 can only be next to 1 on a whisper 5 line, so that's 1, which makes that 2. That leaves that as 3 again. 8 and 9 is here. That makes it 7, 8, or 9 there. This must be 7, 8, or 9 there to be next to a 2 on a whisper 5 line. So we have a 7, 8, 9 triplet in the central box, which eliminates 7, 8, 9 in the rest of the box. So this is a 6. That leaves just 7 remaining in row 5 as a high digit. 7 eliminates 7 here. This becomes an 8, 9 pair. That eliminates 8 and 9 here, so it's 7. 7 is only consecutive with 6 or 8, and this can't be 6 because of 6 in the column. So that's 8, which makes this 9, which makes that 8. That leaves this digit as a 9. The remaining digit in column 4 is a 2. This digit is the next cannot be 8 or 9, cannot be 6, so this has to be 7. The only digits which can be next to it on a Whisper 5 line is 1 and 2. This 1-2 pair eliminates 1 and 2 in the rest of the column. So this is 3-4 as a pair, and 4 cannot be next to 8 on a Whisper 5 line. So this is because there's 4 apart from each other. So this is 3, that's 4, which makes that 1. 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 4 and 3. 3 then is the last digit remaining in row 8 is a 2, which is consecutive with 3. 2 eliminates 2 here, so it's 1, which is consecutive with 2, which is consecutive with 1. That leaves that as a 3 there. This digit cannot be 1, 2, or 4 because of 1, 2 in the column and 4 in the row, so that's 3, which makes that 2. Remaining high digit in row 4 has to be a 6. 6 is only consecutive with 7 out of the high digits, and 6 can only be next to 1 on a Whisper 5 line, so 1 is there. That makes that 2, which makes that 1. Remaining low digit in row 4 is a 2, which is consecutive with 3. That leaves us as 4 there. 4 has to be next to 9 on a Whisper 5 line, which makes this 8. And this is the last low digit in column 9, so it's 1. No 1, 2, or 3 here, so this must be 4. This has to be 9 as the last high digit. That leaves us as 3. So all the low digits are set. Remaining digits, the rest is just normal Sudoku. Remaining digit in row 2 is an 8. Remaining digit in this upper left-hand box is a 7. Remaining digit in column 1 is a 6. The remaining digit in this upper central box is a 6. Remaining digit in column 8 is an 8. Remaining digit in row 1 is a 9. Remaining digit in column 9 is a 7, which leaves this as an 8. Apologies for this portion. Yeah, sometimes you just go by a little too quickly, and you make a bad assumption. Very cool. Very nice how these, like, green beans interacted. Especially with the white dots. I'm not sure what the white dots are supposed to be for the green bean casserole. Maybe it's just cheese or something. Or maybe it's just something that you had to be able to do to make sure that these just worked out. I don't know. Obviously, the small green Whisper 5 lines are essentially the green beans. Maybe you have an olive here for the black property dot. But then the white could be cheese, I guess. Maybe. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.